Hi everyone, Mr. 3D Hero here. In today's video, I'd like to talk to you about the recent update that just dropped for the new game mode called Titanfall. Now, Titanfall was meant to be introduced in the Glitch DLC. Well, that's what many of us consumed to think it was meant to be introduced. But instead, they said to us that it was meant to come out a few weeks later after the Glitch DLC has landed. They first introduced this through some polls. Now, the polls are actually available on Reddit, on Titanfall Reddit. They've already been done, and the majority of players voted for Titanfall, Marked for Death, and Iron Last Titan Standing. So, with the results, they introduced Titanfall in the game. And I believe this game mode is a game mode that was first introduced in Titanfall 1, so it's an old game mode that's been introduced. And my impressions on this game mode is that it's basically pilot versus pilot, but slowed down just a bit with more Titan focus. And there's no nuke eject, or just no ejection whatsoever, and you can't exit your Titan. Both sides have to fight to the death, and the first team to win with 30 points are the winner. It's as simple as that. And generally, I would say I enjoy this mode a lot, considering that it really focuses on team play. Compared to LTS, yes, you have to focus on team play, but in many matches, you can lose straight away, or quite easily, if you have a group of teammates that don't actually know what they're doing, or they're using a Titan that's not really supported for the map. In this game mode though, everyone can play whatever Titan they feel they're comfortable with, or whatever Titan they want to play with, and you still got a chance of making comebacks. But I definitely have to emphasize that teamwork is probably the most important part of this game mode, completely. If the enemy team has a full team of Tome players, or a full team of Ronin players, and they're actually really good and they know how to maximize those Titans, they can and they will destroy your team. Especially if you're with a group of teammates that have never played LTS before, or anything similar to where it'll be Titan fights. So when it came down to gameplay, I found that it really depends on the map. At best, I tend to see about maybe 3 maps in rotation, mainly Forward Base Kodai and Blackwater Canal, and sometimes Homefront as well. These are mainly the 2 maps that tend to rotate at best. I never tend to see anything else, so I'm not sure if that's the maps they want to introduce, just these small maps just to test it, because they did say that this game mode's only going to last up till this week. So it's up to you guys to play this game mode from today on to, I believe, next week, Tuesday, to where either we're going to get the next game mode, that's probably going to be Marked for Death, or we're going to have to wait another week, and then we get a new game mode. But Respawn did tell us that this game mode is just an experiment. They're just looking through it, they're seeing the results, they're seeing how it plays out and how they can tweak it to make it more better. So there's a chance in the nearby future that this game mode may be a permanent in the playlist. It may not. Just kind of like how Nitro is. But generally, when it comes down to gameplay for this, you really have to be aware of your Titan and the type of maps you're playing on. I noticed that if you're playing on forward-based Kodai, for example, it's always going to be a lot of long-range engagements. So you kind of want to go with a Titan that is capable of that role, such as Legion, or Tone, or North Star, or even Ion. You can use Ronin, and I have seen really good Ronin players that are able to completely take over the whole map. But you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to be aware of how open the area is. If you're playing smaller maps though, like Blackwater Canal, then yeah, you can go off and use Scorch and Ronin, and probably Tone and Iron as well, because these type of Titans maximize the area pretty well. But then when you add in people like North Star, or even Legion for example, it kind of makes it a bit tough for you, because in the fact that, yeah, you have a lot of cover, but you're not going to be able to escape majority of times. So Titan's going to literally just block you in. And like I previously said, if a Ronin player just comes in from behind, they will destroy you, no matter what. Now you're probably wondering why I keep emphasizing on Ronin a lot. Because Ronin in this game mode specifically is very... I'd say this game mode really focuses on Ronin Titan play. Ronin on these type of maps are really good, And I can say that throughout every match I've had, each team had a ronin player that either knew what they were doing or did not have a clue what they were doing. And I'll probably say that's because of how chaotic that ronin can be. You know, your team could be facing off against the other team, and both of you are just sharing firefights between each other, and a ronin could just come out of nowhere and completely destroy everything there. They can go in and they can use their sword core to either do more damage, to the point of where they sacrifice themselves so that your teammates can come in and finish them off. Or, in other means, they will come up from behind and do even more damage. 9 times out of 10, depending on how your team reacts, it works. Other times, it doesn't work. But I would say that when you're playing this game mode, you will see a lot of ronin players. And it's kind of nice in many ways, as you know, ronin isn't that common of a Titan that many players tend to go with because of the learning curve around him and the fact that he's incredibly weak, but he's also incredibly versatile. And if he's someone that knows how to go in, do damage, and get back out, he become a pain, but ultimately he'll become a #1 team figure to follow and support as much as you can. Another thing I also have to emphasize on this game mode as well is that you cannot whatsoever go one man against anyone. If you're in a team, make sure you stick with your team. Don't try and go on and take the other team on your own, unless your Titan is a type that is meant to take on Titans on their own. So for example, if you're playing ronin, ronin is meant to go off from behind or anywhere generally where the enemy players will be and cause as much damage as much as possible. If you're not ronin, or if you're not ion, or if you're not even, for example, even scorch, don't bother, because the moment you go off by your own, not only would the enemy team know where you are, but they'll also kill you. But unless this is kind of a bait tactic that you can do as well, as you know, going in and making the enemy team focus on you, it does work. And doing so basically means that the whole enemy team will focus on you with their backs against your friendlies. So then your friendlies can come in, they can do damage, and then the enemy team won't be able to react quick enough. But that kind of depends on how it is. It depends on the teammates, it depends on the enemy team, how they react, and it kind of depends on what type of situation they're in. Because if it's only one friendly on your team, on the other side, that's doing damage, and you're going up against a big group of players that are focusing on you, it's going to be just stupid for you to waste your life. And plus, you go off and you get killed, you're giving points to them. So it's kind of risky. That's why I really must say you have to focus on team play. Make sure you stick in a team. Not too close, as if you stick too close, it basically makes it easy double kill, or triple kill, or quanta kill. But try and stay as close as possible so that each and every one of you are spread out in case an enemy player decides to get into the middle of you, or in case they try to trap you into a corner, or in case an enemy player decides to get from behind you. If it is the case, then 1 or 2 of you may be able to react from people from behind, the other 2 will be able to react at the front, and the one in the middle will be able to decide whether to support the front team or support the back team. It's kind of 50-50. So in general, I definitely have to say that Titan Brawl is a nice new game mode, nice refreshing game mode to be introduced into Titanfall 2. It's basically LTS, but improved on, and more fun. You know, it's a game mode that really heavily focuses on team play. And if you don't focus on team play, you will lose badly. But in many cases, there are still some room of improvements that could be focused on a bit more. At the moment, there aren't really many that they can focus on, but for the time being, it's a nice game mode. They just need to tweak it a bit more here and there. Maybe just like one of the tweaks I can definitely think of is basically adding more maps. Because it's kind of odd that they're only adding in 4 maps at best. 4 to 3. So why not introduce some more maps? But overall, I say I really do like the maps. I really do like the game mode. And I can definitely say that if you're someone that loves LTS or just Titan play, you'll really enjoy this game mode. So, that's the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. They all help me grow my channel, and it really does help me get out there and show a few more other people what Titanfall 2 is like, and why you should go off and buy it. If you didn't like it, then by all means leave a dislike. I'll understand, and I know where to improve by in the nearby future. But once again, thank you all for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon.